You are listening to the All Burgundy and Go Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Excuse me. It's our All Burgundy and Go Everything post-game show. The Washington Commanders fell to the Miami Dolphins 45-15. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Glenn and Ray. We also have co-hosts of the Breaking Command podcast, Darrin, Midgett, aka Dee Middy. What's going on? Dee Middy, and welcome to All Burgundy and Go Everything, my man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Truly do. Even after that game, I still feel good.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I don't know.
What you feel good? What you feel good about?
I know, right?
90 to 25. They've been
feel good about life. He feels good about life.
Yeah, you can't knock that. You feel good about life. That's what I'm talking about.
You feeling good about Marvin Harrison Jr., huh? And the offseason,
hey, I'm feeling good about the draft, a new GM, a new coach.
Yeah, exactly. See, Ray found the positives, man. He wasn't sticking with the negatives, dude.
I'm positive. I like Sam Howell, and I feel as though he's played well enough. I think they reverted back to trying to, ground and pound today, but it was too little, too late. They were down so early and they were down so big.
No. That's what that was the game plan. Don't say too little, too late.
Hey, for my WWE people, if you're not a fan of the Bloodline, I know you really don't like him today because Tua came in and did his thing, bro. Like he manipulated the pocket. He was accurate. He just looked so comfortable back there. That's gonna be a hard knock this week. Activate your HBO Max, Wole, if you don't have it.
I have HBO Max.
Okay, good.
That's my main things, bro. That's one of my favorites. I got HBO Max.
That's crazy though, man. He did so much and he didn't even run the ball. Like I had him on a parlay to get over 5 yards rushing, and he ain't rushing not one.
See, that's what Tua, bro. That's Tua.
See,
yeah, that's Tua. I didn't tell folks out there about Tua. You already know. But before we get to the game, man, before we get to the game, let's dive in this real quick. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and also like this video. All right, Glenn, go what you want to say, man. I ain't want to cut you off. Go ahead. You want to say something, man? So they didn't have to. They didn't have to.
No, I'm just saying he didn't have to. He didn't have to run. When you ain't getting pressured, you ain't got to run. You just stood back there and let the ball go. I mean, the ball goes out in 2.1 seconds. Ain't nobody getting back there. I mean, Washington got no pass rushers since they let Chase Young and Montez Sweat go. Henry did have a sack though for a hit, but
I mean, they don't really get pressure, man. Come on, now, don't do that. They don't get pressure. They don't count.
That's all.
Like,
nothing major.
They don't get pressure, man. Like, it's all good.
No, I'm saying you don't get no pressure.
Yeah, they don't do nothing, man. Tua can chill, man. Tua can chill. Tua's one of them out there. Like Ray said, what I'm saying? He put the one finger up. Bloodline. Y'all went here, but Tua can do that. Some of y'all trashing Tua. It's all good. I take receipts. I know who y'all are. I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all watching the show. I take receipts on X. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all going real hard on Tua. Some of y'all said Mac Jones is better. I know who y'all are. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all watching this. Y'all know who y'all are.
Whoever thought that don't watch football, don't know football.
They tried to use the whole. I think Waddle came out, or was it Judy? I think it was Waddle. Was like that was Mac Jones was his boy or whatever. And everybody was like, "Oh, Mac Jones better than Tua." I said, "Okay, watch that. Holler at me in a couple years. See how that turn out. Y'all mad, aren't y'all? I know. It's okay. Live on that though. Live on that. Anyway, we're talking about Miami and Miami dismantling Washington, 45-15. Dee Middy, I'm gonna start with you, man. What were your overall thoughts on the game, man?
To be perfectly honest, man, as we both all said, it was expected that they weren't going to win, but how they were going to lose is how I was anticipating the game was going to go. Like, and I mean, I'm just being a real life football fan, not even just a burgundy and gold fan.
Facts.
When you look at the opposing team they were going against, that track team, Tyreek Hill did exactly what he came in the game to do, and that was to get multiple catches for over 20 plus yards. Mm-hmm. And Washington's offense was non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that pick six that Sam threw wasn't even a microcosm of how that offense looked. That was effort. You know what I mean? That wasn't even scheme. That was effort on that particular play.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask the whole group this though, real talk, man. Do you feel like this team quit on Ron? And Ray, I'm gonna start with you, homie. You out here laughing. So I'm gonna start with you.
No, I don't think they quit on Ron. I think it's just like kind of what my man just described is sort of a glimpse in the look of what this season has been for this team. I think the Thanksgiving loss was the end of the line for them because remember what we discussed on the pregame. Many questioned Ron, and I think the front office did it as to why a change wasn't made after the Bears lost because that was the low point. But Ron and this team thought that they could get it together. And you go into Dallas, and you know the history of this franchise and the rivalry against the Cowboys, and they hang 40 plus on you, and they eat turkey on the sideline. I think that was it. I know there's been a lot of low points, but I think that was it. I think that was demoralizing. I think mentally they're checked out. You checked out as a fan, Wole? Glenn is semi-checked out. He picked him to win today, so I know he needs to get a psych eval like ASAP. But most fans are checked out right now, straight up. You know, looking forward to the draft, looking forward to Magic and Josh Harris and what they can do for the franchise, the new stadium, going back to the district. Nobody's talking about what this team can do for the rest of the season. So the team, just like the fans, are checked out. I don't think they quit on Ron. I think they quit on themselves, if I'm being real.
Hey, Glenn, you think they quit on Ron?
He delayed now. He got the Matrix going on.
Is he muted?
Maybe. He should be because he picked him to win.
I think some players are. No, I think some players are.
Okay.
Hey, I think some players are checked out on Ron. I think the organization's checked out on Ron. I think then a bye week we may see some other changes that take place in this organization during the bye week. I think players are just ready. Look, 5 games left. I think I said it before we started. This team may not win another game this year. They may not win another game. So I think some players are looking to go elsewhere. I mean, Curtis Samuel is no guarantee that he'll be Washington Commander next year. There's some players who are up for contract. So some players are trying making deals. Did you see those guys on the bench when they flashed it? Even Terry McLaurin, who wants to be here, was sad. I heard Jonathan Allen in an interview this week. He said he's been a Washington fan most of his life. He's even not talking about leaving because he's here for a while, but he's dejected. So I think a lot of players are dejected and tired of what's going on in Washington, in my opinion.
Dee Middy, you think they quit, man? I'm gonna give my opinion after everybody else goes. Dee Middy, you think they quit?
I think my man Glenn was just saying, like, when you see the faces of the players looking down like they lost their best friend on the sidelines, and even when you lose, you see that from a lot of teams, regardless of it's Washington or if it's the Jets or whoever. When teams are getting beat, they do look like they checked out on the sidelines, like if you watch football. But this particular team, if we talking about from the beginning of his tenure till today, I don't think they checked out. I think their effort has been not like the wind got knocked out of them, if that makes sense, if I can use that analogy. They don't have any kind of like gumption to say we can be a better team right now. I feel like they all looking at it as we are as fans. Like, let's just get through this season to get the next year. That's what.
No, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think they checked out. So I think all that to say that they checked out. I think you can spin it any which way you want it in terms of saying like how they quit on Ron or whatever, but they checked out. I feel like that type of it's the effort that got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know who you playing against. You playing against the Dolphins, a team that look what they did to the Broncos, man. Like, you know what they're capable of. You know what Tyreek Hill's capable of. Like him going one-on-one with Kendall Fuller shouldn't be a thing. You know what I'm saying? Ever in life. Like, it should not be a thing. You know, and Tyreek has been doing it to everybody throughout the season. You don't have Deion. You don't have a Deion Sanders. You don't got a Sauce Gardner. You don't got any of them dudes. You don't got any of those dudes.
Right.
Like, you already know what the secondary is, man. You saw what A.J. Brown did to your secondary. You saw what DJ Moore did to your secondary. And you think you can go head up one-on-one with Cheetah? Like, I don't know. That to me, that's being checked out within the coaching staff. That's being checked out with players. You had like even the Miami Dolphins running the football. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like they weren't aggressive enough trying to stop the run. So I just thought like overall, like especially once the score what became what it was, like I felt like the defense checked out. I don't feel like the defense put out effort, like that much effort to say we playing for Ron, because Ray and I, we talk about this behind the scenes in terms of like why I like certain defensive coordinators, certain cultures on defense. It's because you play with you play with a mentality, you play with a hunger, you play with a fight, you play with a dog. When Washington going against Miami, there was no fight, there was no dog. Forget the talent, but the passion, it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And it could be, obviously the way this season is played out, and you know they don't feel motivated. But we're talking about this game, watching this game. I felt like they quit on Ron. I felt like they quit in general. You know what I'm saying?
Because you basically elaborated on what I was saying, Wale, and I feel like when you have that much talent and you can't put the fight in them before a game, regardless of your record, to go out there and like literally fight against a team. I mean, that offensive line, man, Sam is fresh meat behind that offensive line. Mm-hmm. The defensive line was not getting home. Those are the parts of the game that we all know as real fans of football. That's how you win football games, in the trenches.
No, I agree.
In those two areas, they weren't doing anything.
You know,
Glenn, you gonna say something?
Yeah, and you had 10 days to prepare. That's my thing is, you had 10 days to prepare for this. You had 10 days to prepare. 10 days to prepare for Miami. And I'm not saying you should win the game. You should have a better showing with 10 days prepared. You had 3 extra days to prepare for a team coming in, and the only game plan you could have is lock up man to man with Tyreek Hill. Like, what can you play over top? I mean, it's just different things to me. And offensively, you had 10 days to prepare. What can you do to this defense to get you a chance to have a fighting chance to stay in the game? If it was going to be a shootout, you prepare to be a shootout. If it was going to be a slow game, let it prepare to be a slow game. And we saw neither one today. I think they got outcoached on both sides of football.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I played on the field.
I'm going to put a message out there from my man Dennis Bell. Said, I'm sick, brothers. Is the season over yet for some NBA?
NBA mode. Depends on who you root for.
You, man. I can hold you, bro. I've been on NBA mode for a minute. I'm going to hold you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm different from y'all.
Now, let me ask you this. At what point are you playing for the guy next to you? Because guys on this team are playing for jobs. We keep talking about Sam Howell, and is he the guy? Well, Sam Howell's being evaluated. And when you were beating the Broncos, when you came back, I heard everybody in the locker room saying, we believe in this young guy. Now you got to play for him. This dude has a future in the league, man. People view him around the league as a top young quarterback. I tweeted that out. Yeah. So why not play for your brother? Forget about the coach, man. The coach is probably not going to be here anyway. Play for the guy next to you, man. And that's what's frustrating about watching just the body language. Even though I understand that, those of us who play sports, we know what it feels like to get whooped. It's no joke. It's no joke. But it's been consecutive weeks of this. And then you're seeing the top guys on every other squad. They get off, and your top guys don't. That frustrates me. DK Metcalf, nearly 100 yards receiving. CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore. Now Tyreek Hill. All the time got A.J. Brown.
What was Terry's numbers today? Did anybody
0-0.
0-0.
He had 4 targets. No catches, man. It's only the second time in his career he has been held without a catch. Like,
it just all depends, man. It just depends on how you playing winning football. Just depends. I don't like I said this earlier. I don't like getting into targets because I feel like the ball should flow where it needs to flow at. You know what I'm saying? And you do want your best players to get opportunities. My thing would be, is he getting open? If he's getting open, then he should get touches if he's getting open. If he's not getting open, then that's something that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like everybody else. So many folks on social media. I ain't gonna be here watching all 22 and dissecting clips or whatever. I ain't that person. So if you tell me he open, then I'm gonna just go with it. If he ain't open,
my man checked out for real.
I'm being real. Like if he open, he open. You know
but just remember who was on him. But remember who was on him today. You had Jalen Ramsey.
Xavier Howard.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have thrown the ball.
Xavier and Jalen. They got both.
Jalen Ramsey.
Because Xavier Howard had stopped. Was on him like a glove on that almost touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how am I gonna do I blame that? Yeah, one-on-one coverage. that was a good pass. The ball was where it needed to be.
Right.
So it wasn't like can I have to? I mean, that's a big play he can make. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, when people say he only had this amount of targets, would you rather say him forcing the ball and throw another interception? Like, I don't know if he's open. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he open, then the argument is real. Like, I'm not here to argue that. But I'm just saying, like, whoever watching the all 22s and stuff, y'all tell me. You know what I'm saying? Tell me he open or not. That's all I'm gonna say.
There was nothing down. There was nothing down the field.
And even the all 22 can't show you a lot of that.
Nothing down the field.
If you really think about it.
Yeah. So I'm not into. But yeah, I mean, I feel like
I don't know. I don't
the effort.
You running for your life, you can't get the ball.
That too. And
when you running for your life, you can't look down the field, throw the ball.
That too. No, that too. I feel like that's also part of it too. Like when you aren't comfortable in your pocket, it's hard to find your dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to find. Plays can't develop. You may have a long developing play, and it won't work because your line ain't good enough. Or but you may need your guys to get off. To win early, and maybe not able to win early. Because like Glenn's point, you're playing against two of the best. This probably arguably the best tandem in cornerback play in the NFL, and Howard and Ramsey. So like, do you really expect to like really lean on your dudes, Jahan and Terry, like that to win all the time against those two corners? I mean, if you really go into a game plan, unless you have like Randy Moss or Jefferson in today's game, are you going to go in and say like, yo, Terry definitely going to be Jalen Ramsey, Terry definitely going to be Xavier Howard? No, you're not. Xavier Howard, you're not going to go in automatically thinking that, yes, you want him to get the ball, but it ain't automatically going to be a thing when you got two cornerbacks that way. Now, if you're going to try to put him in the slot and maybe he goes in the slot and goes against the nickel, like what Dallas does with CeeDee Lamb, like they try to get him on a weaker cornerback, then yeah, obviously you can go that route. But I'm just saying, like, it's all about where Sam is throwing the ball. Is he throwing it to the right person? That's how I look at it. If he ain't throwing it to the right person, then I'm upset. If he's throwing it to the open dude, then I'm good with it.
Hey, you talked about culture under Coach Rivera. Y'all know I checked the pulse of social media during this show, man. Jay Gruden just said 4 to 5 years now. Figured culture would have been the difference. And that's what I'm saying. All this anonymous stuff
Jay
about
Gruden?
Yeah. You know, he's been going ham lately on X, which is crazy. But what's wild is these guys anonymously speak up against EB, but it's like, okay, you guys are the common denominator. You and your coach have been here for the last several years. He hasn't. So what's wrong? Is it the culture? Yeah. Is it the culture that Coach Rivera's created? Maybe they have quit on him. Well, now looking at this, I don't know.
I feel like they quit on him. I don't know. I just feel like that wasn't effort. That wasn't real football effort. Like at home to get beat like that. This game shows that the team has no talent. The team quit. Yeah, man. Merle, I'm kind of with you, bro.
But it's hard. It's hard to say this team don't have talent because
they got talent.
Yeah. Because for me, look at this might be a hard comparison, but I look at the Steelers, right, and they're 7-4, 7-5, I think, right.
I think it's a good point. I think you're making a good point, but go ahead. I think you're making a good point. I know where you're going with it
because they are getting outgained, and I feel like Washington's roster, top to bottom, is not like completely better than them, but they have some spots on our roster. We better than them, but they're getting out. So to me, it's about the whole thing. Like the coach to me is the backbone of the team, right? The coaches are the backbone of the team. You know, the running backs coaches, Jennifer King, Randy Jordan, and them, they getting Chris Rodriguez, B-Rob, and AG. They getting them together.
Good point, bro. Good point.
But it just seems like the receivers coach, the DBs coach, the linebackers coach, like they're not getting these guys ready and acclimated to get into these games to win games. And I feel like all that to say, man, it's a whole. I think Fred Smoot said it best: the fish stink from the head down.
I agree.
But to add to your point, though, I mean, when you talk about coaching, this is what I wanted to add to your point. It is, and Ray, a little bit what Ray was talking about the culture. Mike Tomlin doesn't handle that, right? Mike Tomlin is a different type of coach. Mike Tomlin is a structured type coach. Mike Tomlin demands excellence from his players, right? EB demands excellence from his players. When you have a coach like Ron Rivera and you've been in the system, he doesn't demand. Ron still has his arm folded, right? People take on the persona of their head coach. And guess what? And then when somebody comes in and try to shake the apple cart up, they don't like it. So when EB comes in, it's not that EB's a bad coach. EB, as I said it earlier, is holding you accountable. If you don't play, you stink. Sit the bench. If you fumble the football, sit the bench. If you do certain things that are not conducive to this team, hey, we got to find the next man up. And I guarantee you, if Sam Howell was thinking or the offense wasn't doing well, it'll be the next guy up. So Ron Rivera is taking over the defense. What do we still see today? You still saw the same type of things, the same type of plays. Did he hold anybody accountable? Right? Did anybody get removed? Anybody else get put in differently? Again, what are you going to say in the press conference this week? So again, it becomes at a point you hold people accountable. You have a bye week next week, right? So what happens after the bye week? Do you see a different team? No, it's the same thing because the team's going to take on a persona of the coach. He didn't make any changes in difference. So what has Ron Rivera talking about culture? What has Ron Rivera actually done to change the culture of the organization?
Hey, Dennis, that's hilarious.
Hey, that's the definition of checked out, bro. That right there.
Hey, appreciate you for tuning in, man. Listen, I think at this point it shouldn't be a question about if Ron Rivera is still going to be the head coach. But as I mentioned before we came on, during the broadcast, there was some rumblings that he could potentially hang around, and then you could see some other changes around him. Now the question marks also apparently seem to be around Eric Bieniemy and not him, which is interesting to me. But yeah. Right now, if you know you're not going to be playing for this coach next season, I don't see a reason to try to rally. But again, playing for the man next to you is what I think is important.
If Adam Schefter ain't saying, I ain't believing it. I ain't believing it. I know knock on Mark Sherrill. I'm not.
Hey,
whatever. If Adam Schefter ain't saying it, I ain't believing it.
New head coach and defense coach. I agree.
Hey, what's my man from?
Ron Rivera made.
It's Ian. It's Ian, and what's my man name from?
Ian Rappaport.
Him and
Rappaport
and Schefter. If they're not saying it, I don't believe it.
Yes, I'm saying. They ain't saying I ain't believing it. We can go ahead, Glenn. What you gonna say? I'm gonna cut you off.
My bad.
Wait,
no, you good. No, you good.
Bro, you good, bro.
My bad. Now you good. Now you good. But look at the moves Ron Rivera is making. Right. There are moves of a guy who wants to stay. Right. Now it might be too little, too late. He was the one that called Josh Harris. This is the reports that he called Josh Harris to say we need to make a move. Right. That's the guy that trying to save his job, right? I'm gonna fire these dudes before y'all fire me, right? That's what it is. So again, if Josh Harrison really wanted to make a change in this organization, they would have fired this dude after Thanksgiving. They would have fired the defensive coordinator and they would have fired the head coach and the defensive coordinator after the Thanksgiving game. Promoted EB, give him a shot. If EB didn't work out for the last few weeks, get rid of him because now you justifiably can get rid of him and bring in a whole new staff. You can't tell me in this organization, as a new ownership, how you not give the guy that you just made assistant head coach, right, and who improved your offense, not give him a shot or interview, or not even talking about, hey, he might be the guy. And then rumors coming out, this anonymous rumors coming out that Ron Rivera may stay with his organization. Ron doesn't look like a guy who's worried about losing his job. So he must know something. Ron Rivera to me seems like the guy who knows where all the dead bodies are buried.
Man, that man looks stressed. He look, I ain't gonna lie, that man looks stressed. He look like he worried. Wait, my man Cornbread said they won't win another game
just
this
dropped
season.
Some
Ron
fire.
accuses his job. He's only getting sympathy from his yo.
Hey, can I speak on that real quick? Can I speak on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not a matter of if he's going to stay. It's a matter of Josh Harris and that ownership group saying that we're gonna let y'all put whatever product y'all want on the field this year. And then we're taking over because I feel like not necessarily saying a billionaire just sitting back and watching his investment just fizzle down.
Yeah.
He took over this organization knowing that he trusts the guys already in place to do whatever it is you're gonna do. DMX said it best. I'm gonna trust a dog to be a dog. I'm gonna trust a liar to lie to me. So I'm gonna trust this Ron Rivera organization, Ron Rivera regime to play out and be a mediocre team, and then I'm taking over. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at. Like, if you look at the track record of Josh Harris and what he's trying to do, he'll let you play it out. He let Brett Brown play it out for the season. Like, even though it looked like he wasn't ready, people checked out on him supposedly, but he'll let a season play out. Like, he will let a season play. I mean, from his track record, he will let a season play out. So the thing about now, I can bring in my guys because again, these aren't his guys at all. None of these people are his guys. So he ought. So to even answer the question about EB, which I'm a fan of EB. Of course, I want EB to be the head coach.
Me too.
Like everybody knows that. Like that's. But he may have somebody in mind and ain't EB. Like he got his own people. Like they could be like, nah, I want this dude. Like I want this dude, and we're gonna sweat it out. Look. I'm not gonna interfere this season. I'm not gonna be like the other owner who would go mid-season and fire somebody. I want to show everybody I'm different. Like I'm different. I'll let it play out, and we'll worry about next year. Where I have now, I got my GM, I got my scouts, I got everybody I want in play. I'm not going to worry about trying to save what's happening this season and try to inject my thoughts this season. This is your thing, Ron. Like you did this, and this is the thing. Like a lot of people get on me. No, a lot of people get on me about. I always say like get on me about. I'm about to go.
That was personal.
Yeah, that was personal. Now a lot of people get on me about like the whole like Snyder and Rivera, and I'm like, the only person to blame is Ron. Ron can only blame himself. He ain't never had to answer to nobody. This is the thing. He ain't never had to answer to nobody. Finally, he got to answer to somebody. And this person like, nah, dude, this is you. This ain't me, this you. You gonna finish this out. Like, you gonna finish this out. Like, because Ron is the same person that would be like, and if the reports are, like, if you look at the reports, like early in that Bears game, supposedly Ron was like, yeah, with the Jack thing, like they were mad. They weren't happy with the Jack thing in that Bears joint. But Ron was like, yo, trust me, it's gonna work out. Like he's holding that thing for his guys. Trust me, it's gonna work out. Why? Because before the owner, he ain't had to say, trust me, it's gonna work out. Because that other owner ain't paying attention because he had lawsuits. Like before then, Ron was like, you good, Jack, don't worry about it. You good. Now you good, Scott. You good, Scott. Don't worry about it. You good. I got you. You good. There ain't no pressure on you. Now you got to answer to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. Like, your stat, like, sure, you may not be losing your job, but now you got to answer somebody. So, yeah, you're going to have to make the choice of, is it me or is it Del Rio? Is it me or is it the DB coach? Like, now you got to make moves. Like, you can't, because when you was in power, you could do whatever you wanted to do. You can be like, Jack, you good? Stay. We can work this out. You good? All y'all good. Stay. We're gonna work it out. Now you gotta answer somebody. So that's my thing. Like, to me, Ron ain't. I don't look at it like Ron got like Ron safe. I think when I look at Ron on doing his press conference, he don't look safe at all. He looks stressed. He don't look like he comfortable at all. I guarantee. Look at Ron in the beginning of the season to now, and he don't look comfortable. When he answers those questions, he ain't comfortable. All them questions, he's like, I'm not answering that. That's what I'm not. With an attitude, I'm not answering that. Lets me know already that he feels tense, that he's had a conversation. I like, you could tell by his body language, he looked defeated. Stephen said Harris keeping Ron in there to make sure he never gets another job. Love
True. True statement.
Hey, folks is going crazy, man. Like I said, the majority of the fan base is checked out. There is a picture circulating on social media where a fan is holding up a sign saying, I'm tired of losing. That speaks to years and years of ineptitude by this franchise, unfortunately. It's just sad, man.
He said there's absolutely no more urgency whatsoever. The Washington offensive line has been checked out. Yeah, Mark, yeah, I agree. John Sandoval said, we have receivers and running backs who have talent on this team. We just don't have a quarterback. Whoa. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got a rookie. Dog, I'm telling you, Sam Howell's on another team. Y'all would love this dude, bro. This is a rookie quarterback starting and leading the league in yards. Y'all would love this dude. He was on a different team. The problem is he's on this team, so he ain't good. I'm telling you. If he was on another team, y'all would love him. Y'all would be saying, damn, how come we don't have a quarterback like him?
I'm a guy of analogies, right? So
not even on another team if he was winning.
That's exactly what I was getting to. When you got teams out here that's winning, that's like the Eagles. You got teams out here that's winning like the 49ers. Teams out here that's winning like how the Bills are winning. How many players on the Bills are like elite, talented players? Like, how many players on the Chiefs are elite, talented players?
Yep. I'm with you. Now, man, on the Chiefs, they got, I mean, in terms of what people would deem elite, I think they're talented compared to other teams. I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I don't think like Washington so far off. But we said this before, I said this before, not being redundant, that if you want to even look at Washington Redskins Commanders lore, the year before Greg Williams came to DC, this defense was trash, same talent and everything. Greg Williams came on the team, and they were a top 3 defense. So
horrible.
To your point, same talent, but with a different coach, they're a top tier defense.
And see, that's my thing. Like, okay, the reason why I say it is because, and I use the Chiefs as this analogy because they got Chris Jones, right? Chris Jones is a dog.
Yep.
But name 4 DBs on their team that you feel like, or name 2 DBs on their team that you feel like is like, and outside of Trent McDuffie is just a first round pick 2 years ago. But outside of him, do they have like real Darrell Reeves dogs?
I like Joshua Williams, but he's an HBCU kid, so that's why he went.
Respect the HBCU.
That's why I respect him. But I knew you talking about him. He was highly touted, in college. But yeah, he was highly touted. But yeah, like to your point, like a Reeves, no, they don't got a shutdown corner. Like they don't. Like to your point, they don't have a shutdown corner at all. So I agree with you. Dee Middy. I totally agree with you. Like, no, that's my issue with. But let me read some. Let me read some more chats real quick. My man, and we'll see if y'all agree. My man, George, put out there like our D line looks small out there. Yeah, it's what happens when you let Chase and Montez go. Call me. You say what you want to. I know what I'm talking about. Stephanie also said Sam's the only one that shows up. Look, man, Sam made through the pick 6. But I felt like 2 of those runs, man, that was all will. That was hard. Like we talking about, that's somebody who ain't quit. Like to me, Sam Howell ain't quit. But it is what it is. You need help. Merle also said the assistant coaches are horrible. It's part of Rivera regime, so they're all horrible.
Stop talking. You wrong. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Fix the O-line and secondary. New head coach and defensive coordinator. That secondary is that is trash too. All y'all who was gassing up St. Juice to me, I hope y'all y'all now see what I was saying. Y'all eating a bunch of crow. A bunch of y'all quiet now about St. Juice. I ain't gonna hold y'all. A bunch of y'all real quiet about St. Juice. Dennis also put out there. Well, at least they don't have plastic bags anymore. I can still get some air with the new paper bags.
Oh, brother, it's gonna be interesting final stretch of this season because I wonder what you're evaluating. Besides Sam Howell, what else are you looking at? I know the ownership is looking at Ron, but they shouldn't be. I think that's a foregone conclusion. Just the outlook and what are you evaluating? Are you evaluating what's the best draft position? Seriously, there's a lot
man.
to consider.
I feel like I think. Here, this one right here actually. It's a good one. It's a good segue. Marshall Robinson, our offensive line needs a major upgrade. Also, our DNs and linebackers. We had 2 DNs though, but it is what it is. But everybody thought Casey Toohill and James Smith Williams were better. Yeah, sit on that.
Ebony and Ivory,
huh? Ebony and Ivory. Yeah. Sit on that one for a second.
For real.
Kept saying he had 3 sacks. Yeah, I got you.
Hey, well, before the game, remember we talked about a few games early in the season. Both Philly games, obviously, the Seattle game, that's 3 right there, where the offense played well enough, put up enough points to win. And the defense, which had all that talent, for whatever reason, couldn't close the deal. So I still feel as though the defensive side deserves more of the blame. Now, there's equal blame to go around. But I still think, even though Rivera is in charge of all of it,
you say
the
think?
Was supposed to be good.
You're right. There's no think about it. You're right. There's no think. Why is that think? Like, this is a historical bad defense. Of course it's their fault. Like, I don't know, Ray, you're right. Look, man, what we won't do is listen to them ignorant folks on X or whatever. We ain't gonna do that. What we won't do is that. Like, it's a fact. Like, this offense has scored 30s. They've been in the 30s. They've been in the 20s. They've done their job. The Eagles games, the Dallas game, not Dallas game, sorry. The Seahawks game, like they score. The Bears game was their fault, bro. Like they were giving up points at will. Like DJ Moore was like, yo, you gonna get this work. We did the Oprah thing. You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. Like, dog, like what we doing here? Like to me, like what's been, and I'm gonna say this again. If you would told any of us, that before the season started, Washington would be able, they would having games there in shootouts, well, they be scoring 30, they be scoring 20, they would like, and you would say going to, and Sam Howell, one of the leading passers in the NFL, you would say to yourself, and they were good in the red zone or solid in the red zone, you would say, damn, they had a good season. They're a playoff team. Like you would say they're a playoff team. Nah, you wrong. Why? Because the defense is trash. It's all the way trash. And if it's all the way trash because you missed on so much. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the one thing. Like Ron can come out and say like, it's the process. You know, you can't build this thing in 2 years. You can't build this thing in 3 years. You can't build this thing in 4 years. We have to learn how to win. Like, dude, it's your fault. Let's keep it buck. Dog, it's your fault. You drafted all these dudes that so-called ain't producing. The dudes that like you drafted Percy Butler and started him. Like you drafted Quan Martin, who's supposed to be a safety playing him nickel, but you drafted him early to the point where he's just a role player. He ain't even a starter. So you drafted a starter, a role player in the second round. Who does that? Like he was drafted a starter in the second round. Who does that? Ron Rivera does that. You know what I'm saying? Like Emmanuel Forbes. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Emmanuel Forbes. I do think he's gonna have a good future. You know what I'm saying? But like benching him and playing with him, saying you already had like worried about St. Juice over Emmanuel Forbes is like ridiculous to me. I don't care about St. Juice. Like you should say, who cares about St. Juice? You have Emmanuel Forbes. Yeah, you're starting. Forget St. Juice. Who's St. Juice to me? Like who is St. Juice to me? Now I'm getting here. Who is he to me? Like, who is he?
Yo, but it shows this, man. It shows that he's not a good GM because anytime that you can pick up anytime you pick up a cornerback, knowing that you needed linebackers, knowing that you needed offensive linemen, it's not like this team didn't know they need offensive linemen last year at the end of the season. It is not like the offense didn't know they needed a linebacker at the end of the season. It's not like Emmanuel Forbes was a must-have at the Chris Gonzalez. People talk about he could have took not Gonzalez.
No, I want it.
But it could have took linebacker. You took different people. This defense, right? I saw it on Twitter at home. They have given up 37 to the Bills, 40 to the Bears, 38 to the Eagles, 31 to Tommy DeVito, and 45 to the Dolphins at home. Don't talk to me about sellout because there wasn't no sellout today. Them top bleachers were empty. In that stadium, it was more Dolphin fans than it was Commanders fans. As the colder it gets, people stop coming to the game. If this ownership wants to make back their investment of $6 billion, they need to, in my opinion, clean house, start over, and guess what? You know what? We're moving on. That was the last regime because this year's a mulligan for the ownership. Let's be honest, right? They inherited late. They couldn't make any moves. Couldn't make any moves. Is a mulligan. So next year you can say it's Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. This year that's still the old trash, right? But move away. Get totally separate. If they're gonna separate from Ron Rivera, then totally separate from everybody in the organization. If you want to totally start fresh, and I want EB. I think EB should get a shot. I do think EB should get a shot, right? Because I like the way the style of EB coaches. I said it earlier. He coached like a Mike Tomlin. Let's go back to Washington, Lord. He coached like a Marty Schottenheimer. Remember how people gave Marty Schottenheimer the business when Marty Schottenheimer came, right? Oh, he's too tough. He's too tough. What did that team do when they started to buy into Marty Schottenheimer? They went 8. They started to win the second half of the season when they stopped fighting Marty Schottenheimer and started believing in his process because he was that tough. That team started out 0-5 and finished 8-8 because they started believing in Marty Schottenheimer. So guess what? If you want to get rid of people, let the team start believing. You want to change the culture? Let EB coaches come in and hold people accountable as football players. Y'all making all this money? Because who's holding Deron Payne and Allen accountable right now, right? These two dudes just got the bag. When anybody talking about Deron Payne, he just got the bag. How many times have we heard Deron's Payne this year? His name. That one game he took over, that one series, the Bronco game when he took over a series. Where's Deron Payne been at, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Like
there was once a sentence on this show that the coaching staff is arrogant. Remember that, y'all?
They are arrogant, though.
What's wild is my man rapper Big Pooh called Jack Del Rio's defense a couple years back. He called it a preseason defense. Somebody this morning, I don't remember who it was, called it a 90s defense. At some point, you can't be so arrogant. You
Oh, it
have
was
to let the
Felix.
pride
It was
go.
Felix,
You have to
right?
make adjustments, huh?
It was Felix. It was Felix.
He called it a 90s defense. Basically saying you're outdated. So at some point, you got to let the pride go and you got to make some serious changes. I know it hurts, but you want to win games. And the result has been the same. It's unfortunate. But we could talk about this in nauseam. I think it's a matter of us now looking forward, all of us. I'm not a fan of the team, which is why I'm not in my feelings like y'all are. But at the same time, this franchise is so historic. We can say it over and over again. I'm not gonna keep referencing the Barry Sanders doc, but you got to find a way. Even during the broadcast, Wole, the point was made that there's so much value within the Washington franchise, and you got to hit on the next coach. You have to hit on this one. You cannot. And the quarterback. You can't fail no more. The fans
Ray, this is
are checking out.
I'm gonna give you this question, Ray. You know what I'm saying? Gear. I'll say Gear Sale 1.
Yeah, Gear Sale.
EB. Yeah, EB is garbage. Why do you think he is so good? I'm gonna give you that to you, Ray. Go ahead, because I can just go. I can go in, but I don't feel like going in.
Well, I'm returning the question first. Why do you think EB is garbage? And then I'm gonna say, look at the numbers in comparison to last year. I'm gonna look at the Chiefs' offense and how it's changed since he's left, and then look at Sam Howell's development. I think EB gets credit for all that. You got a bad offensive line, but somehow you've been able to produce, as well they say, you've been able to produce 30, 20. He still has been able to have this team competitive up until, I want to say, the last 3 weeks.
All right, so I'm gonna address that.
Philly's at the top of the league. Philly's at the top of the league. You put points up on one of the best teams, if not the best team in football this year. I think EB still deserves some credit.
Listen, I will say this, like, you know, my thing about like recently with EB, I just feel like he's listening to too many people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody want him to do a certain thing, and you know, I feel like I'm a fan of balance, but do whatever got you to the dance. Do you? Because when you do you score. Like you've been trying, and the team has ran the football better, but it ain't giving you the points that you would get when you just airing it out. So real talk, if running football is your thing, then run the football, definitely. But if you are more comfortable in airing it out and you can get more points, air it out. Because you were scoring with the Phillies, with Philly, like Ray talked about the Broncos game. You aired it out in that Broncos game for you to come back and win. Like, air it out. Like, if that's what helps you win football games. Andy, I'm gonna use it. You come from the Andy Reid tree. Andy Reid ain't worried about running the football unless he has to run the football. And he ain't thinking balance. No, he's thinking about moving the football. That's how Andy Reid thinks. So if that works for you, that style where you come from, if that works for you, and you want to utilize your running backs in the passing game, that's fine. Like, then do that. Like, do that, because I feel like the last three games is the Cowboys and this game. What was it before that? Seattle game was before that one? Before the Cowboys game?
Yeah.
All right, so Seattle game was like he threw the ball pretty much. The Seattle's game too. The Seattle game, but the Cowboys game and this game, he's running the football. So, and you know, you're getting your lowest points, you know, of the season with him playing this style. I'm just like, dude, do you?
Today wasn't a bad day to run football. I'm saying, but no. See, I'm saying that's not my point. I'm saying just do. If it's him, do you? Ain't about running the football. It's for him. If he don't listen to whoever, like the pundits. I don't care social media. I don't care whoever, bro. The reporters ask you these questions about running the football all the time, bro. If you are comfortable in running the football, look, Andy Reid had LaShawn McCoy, and them games he wouldn't even give LaShawn McCoy to run the ball, and LaShawn McCoy one of the best backs in football. They be games where LaShawn ain't getting touches like he need to out the backfield. He didn't get touches in the Super Bowl run.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yo, Andy, EB. If you need to run, if throwing the football works for you, and that's how your offense works for you, do it. Because we don't judge some certain people who throw the outside of this region, outside of this area. We don't judge people who do that.
Right.
We don't. But we only judge our people. We only judge ours. We don't judge other coordinators who do it. Because there are a bunch of coordinators. Rams, dude.
Rams won the Super Bowl.
McDaniels likes to throw the football a lot.
Belichick did it,
bro. Yeah. Did you see? Speaking of McDaniels, did you see how he was calling, like how that play calling looked the first quarter when they was up 20? Like he was doing run, gadget play, throw it downfield, gadget play, run, throw it downfield. Like he was playing Madden. He
playing Madden. He sounded fun.
I ain't even want to say it, but the play calling looked like he was just like, let me try these couple plays. Okay, if that don't work, I know Tyreek gonna split them down the field. Run a post route, Tyreek. Run a go route, Tyreek.
You know why? You know why? Because it's called exhibition. It's an exhibition. So he playing them like they exhibition, like an exhibition. All right. So Ray, he answered your question though. I don't know. You said sorry, my brothers can't support EB. Who I saw at Safeway wearing a lime green yoga pants with that outfit. Tragic, just like the offense. Hey,
yo,
I appreciate you listening, of course. The rest of the season doesn't matter as to whether EB stays, because if you put up points for these last 4 games,
it don't matter.
I don't know if that saves his job.
I don't know what it says though.
So the jury is already out, my brother. We'll see what happens. I'm not a EB supporter where I'm gonna get extremely heated behind it. Not at all, bro. I respect everything you got.
Yeah, I know. I me too, bro.
I don't mess with green yoga pants.
I'm not gonna get heated by it, but I think the guy deserves a shot, right? I think if you gave Ron Rivera a shot, I think that my thing is this: that EB has not been given a shot from all these other NFL organization teams, right? I'm gonna take an example, right? Carolina is suffering because they didn't give Steve Wilkes a shot, right? Because he let's be honest. So to me, it's not just about EB. Be honest, it's to me like, why can't a black man see if he can coach in the NFL, right? It's not EB, because guess what? Carolina wish they still had Steve Wilkes, right? They went to Mark Rick, and he didn't even last 11 games. So give EB the shot to see if he can control a team, if he can. If I think if you give him a shot and he can't do it, the conversation about EB being a head coach will go away, right?
And I feel like he hasn't had the opportunity to have his own staff, because this offensive staff to me is working with something. Tavita Pritchard at QB coach is doing something with Sam that's working. You know what I'm saying? The receivers coach is doing something with Diami and Byron Pringle, and like working together to get these guys to play within the scheme to be able to get open or whatever the case may be. So give EB the chance to have his own staff, like have him, go get the defensive coordinator that he needs. An offensive coordinator that can help him with game planning against certain teams. Because to be perfectly honest, sometimes we see these head coaches and we be like, oh, they defensive minded and they calling plays. Sometimes they have an old coordinator or somebody on their staff that's actually, that's their guy. I don't know if you guys watch Suits, but Harvey Specter had a Mike Ross.
I think I didn't watch. I don't watch it. But I think my mom watched it. My brother watched it.
It's dope. I just actually got on it, bro. It's a dope show.
I need. Old boy. The Prince, was it Prince Henry and his girl was on.
Oh yeah. Megan Markle. Yeah, she.
See, look, man, I'm hip. I'm hip. Quit Harry. I don't know. William Harry. He going bald. I don't know. Prince was going bald. How about them apples? I want to put this out there. I love Logan Thomas, but he can't get separation. Let's give Cole Turner more opportunities. Hey, bruh. So I'm gonna answer this one. I agree. I agree. All right. I'm like, look, no knock on Logan. God bless him. He's done some good things this season. But like, you suck. This team, not him. The team sucks. Like, I want to see what Cole Turner can do, because I liked what I saw in preseason. I liked when he got an opportunity to play in the regular season when Logan was out, and it looked like him and Sam had good chemistry. And I'm like, everybody wants to see what kind of that there's some tight tight ends out there.
I think that guy was Amari Rodgers, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like Amari Rodgers one too. But I like Cole more than him. But he out there too. They want to look at him too. But Amari, is he still hurt? I believe he was hurt.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Logan is getting a lot of the snaps and stuff at tight end, because I think it was either him or Curtis Hodges was the one that was really working well with Sam.
Yeah, but what's that was working? I mean, Cole was doing great in preseason with him too. I just like you drafted this dude. He used to play wide receiver in college. He's a jump ball dude. Like, and even when you got to see him play, it's not like when you got to see him play in the regular season, he was making plays. It's just what happened was Logan got healthy, and it was like, okay, let's forget about Cole. And I'm like, yeah, Cole ain't the best blocker. We know that, but Logan ain't a great blocker either. I ain't gonna hold you. Logan ain't a great blocker either. So I'm just like, get this dude this opportunity. Like, this team is a bad team. Right? They're at a point where they're a bad team. It's time to see what you have with the young dudes. I mean, you're seeing a lot of young dudes, some of these young dudes on defense play, and some of them ain't that good. I mean, sorry, I'm just being real. I want to put your name out there, but some of y'all ain't that good. And you're getting that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Cole Turner should get an opportunity. Now, is it like you have Bates out there who's a good blocking tight end? All right, put Cole out there with Bates because you ain't gonna tell me, you ain't gonna fool me like say that Logan is a hell of a pass blocker, run blocker. I've seen Logan block. He ain't the best blocker in the world.
He's not, but he's on his last year's contract. I don't think he'll be there. I mean, if he's on the roster, I think if he's on the roster in March, he gets a $500,000 signing bonus. But they got cap space to get rid of him. Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get man fired, but I'm just saying, like, dang, dude, I don't need you playing this shit no more. That's all.
I'm not trying to get him fired.
I'm messing with you.
I'm thinking about you when you think about the new GM coming in. That's what the GM is thinking. Like, for where I can save money at, can I bring some younger guys in, some fresh talent in? Can I bring some people in that can make things different for this organization? And some of these guys, I hate to say it, it's not gonna be like Dan Snyder where he kept players because he liked them, right? I think Josh Harrison is gonna get rid of players and put it with whatever the analytics say, right? Josh Harris, the analytic guy. Whatever the analytics say is what's going to take place.
True. I want to read this comment on
great comment
from Boski. It's a great comment, man. Is it me or do we lack say it for me? I'm like instinctual. Thank you. Right. It's good God. Instinctual players to do things outside of bad play calling defensively.
But that goes to what my man was just saying, what Glenn was saying. Like it goes to that, bro. It's like the players they look for, the players they put out there, and how they coach them. It's not working. The marriage is not working, bro. Because I'm looking at games now and looking at games in the past. Players are out there finding ways to make plays on these other teams that we are either playing against or these other teams across the NFL. It seems like these guys playing the scheme where they're especially the defense and the zone coverage, like they're playing with cement cleats on.
But it goes with coaching though, because what happened, you heard in this regime, they always told them play the technique and play the system, play technique, play the system. And so I don't think it provided enough room for these guys to freelance a little bit, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, wide receivers can freelance. If you got your scramble rules, you got your scramble drills. If the quarterback rolls out of pocket, you go find an open spot. We saw Miami do it today with Waddle a couple of times. But defensively, St. Jude said it a couple of weeks ago. We playing scheme. Sometimes we wanted to play man. We wanted to do this. I know what Wooly said, like, don't even look. When I said St. Juice's name, Wooly was like, whatever. But I saw that. But again, it becomes one of those things, man. But that was the knock. But let's be honest. That was the knock. That was the knock on Chase Young, right? He did his own thing. Let's be honest. That was the knock on Chase Young, that he did his own thing. But sometimes you got to let athletes be athletes and let them be instinctual and let athletes know where things go. We saw that a little bit today with Jamin Davis being instinctual.
I thought he made some plays.
I thought Jamin Davis made some plays today, some instinctual plays. Around the ball after he got burnt the first time, but Jamin settled down. I think this is one guy that I think Jamin Davis has proved that he can play the linebacker position. That he's gotten better. But again, I agree with the comment. Some players do need to play instinctual and let players do. Now, to be honest with you, Forbes tried to play instinctual at the beginning of the season. You go back and look at what Forbes did. He was trying to. He just was miss the ball here. Somebody would out jump him. Somebody would tip it, whatever case may be, and it just didn't work out for him.
Also, my man put out there. Do you believe? He had a question. Do you believe some of the reports that some players don't want EB as the next head coach? I do believe some of these reports, but I've always, my thing is that which players are we talking about? It's offensive players, obviously. I think it's offensive players, obviously, but it depends who the players are. Like if it's a bench player, I ain't worried about nobody from the bench telling me anything. That I will tell you. But if it's a star player, then yeah. But also my argument to that would be like, yeah, you like Ron Rivera, you like losing, so you're a loser. So if you like that, then that's fine. I don't want you in my building. Like that's what it is. Like it's if you telling me off a resume, off resume of recent of just off recency. EB has won 2 championships with the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 championships with Super Bowl championships with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's coming from a winning culture. He's had players vouch for him. He had the dude that just bust your ass today and Tyreek Hill talk highly of him. The same dude that just got 2 deep passes on you said that EB is
over 130 yards receiving.
Ray and I, we all talked to. We had Bashard Breeland, former cornerback on the defense side of the ball, said that EB is him. So these are ex-players who talk highly of EB, right?
Well, you saw EB when Tyreek Hill went to the sideline and got hurt. The first person from the Washington bench that went over there to check on him was EB.
Yeah, so I'm saying like so for those players that are complaining about him, my thing is, what have you experienced? If it ain't, let me be real with you. If it ain't Kendall Fuller, who's won the Super Bowl, I ain't worried about none of y'all. Real talk.
I'm about to say, how many other players on the team has won the Super Bowl?
Other than Kendall Fuller, I ain't worried about none of y'all.
But who did Kendall Fuller win that Super Bowl with?
EB Kansas City Chiefs. I ain't worried about none of y'all.
Okay, I'm just
I ain't worried about none of y'all. Y'all can go complain all you want. Because to go back, you know why? Because the same people who bring that up as a point, I always say this. Glenn mentioned Marty Schottenheimer. I like that you mentioned him. And he had other players that had higher clout though. Like, so I won't, it's not the same, but like Glenn said, there are people complaining about Marty. Even after 8-8, they complain about Marty. Even after 8-8, your favorite one of your favorite Redskins players was complaining about Marty. Darryl Green hated Marty Schottenheimer.
Shoot.
So what you gonna tell me? And I love Darryl. Like, Darryl's one of my favorite. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. At that time, I sided with Darryl. I was like, Darryl, right, get Marty out of here. Because it's Darryl Green. I don't care if you ain't messing with Darryl Green. But I'm just telling you, the same folks that y'all keep bringing it up saying, well, players don't like EB. Players, and we keep referencing Marty. Players ain't like Marty after he turned it around 8-8. And some of y'all are the same people that would reference Marty, like, why we get rid of Marty? And y'all reference EB like players don't like EB. You know what? Players ain't like Marty either. That's why they got rid of him. Daniel Snyder was like, DG and them, they went up to Daniel Snyder, like, yeah, I can't play for this dude.
Can't play, dude. Yep.
And he got rid of him.
Right.
And that is a Super Bowl champion. That's they got Steve Spurrier as the prize. So I don't want to hear nothing.
They went to Zorn. Didn't it? Zorn after Spurrier, wasn't it?
It was Spurrier. They got Spurrier.
No, got Spurrier. Then it went to Zorn. The whole coaching circle started going down on hill.
You know who I would hate for the player to be that's talking about EB is Sam, because Sam body language today when they were sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
EB, Sam body language when he was sitting by EB was looking kind of like, man, this dude, he was kind of like giving one of these.
I think he was mad at his own play though, but I don't think it's Sam though, just because of how he's been talking about him like consistently. You know what I'm saying? And like
in his press conferences,
like I don't think it's him at all. No. But I do think, I have an idea what players are, but I don't want to prove. I can't prove it, so I'm not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm just saying, like if because you used to Ron, that's the reason why you upset, because you used to a certain way of football.
And not even Ron, they used to Scott Turner not doing anything.
That too, right? All of that, that too.
But I get another team, the people that another guy they said it was tough. They said Tom Coughlin was tough. The people in New York didn't like Tom Coughlin.
True.
They hated Tom Coughlin, but he won 2 Super Bowls.
Results, man. So all I care is about results. I don't care about how tough you are. If you're a soft coach and you winning bowls, that's cool. It worked for me too. If you a tough coach and you winning bowls, that worked for me. So, but if you ain't win nothing and you complaining, what we doing here? Like, what's real? What we doing here? Because you don't know how to win. Because in football, it's a results thing. Sports is a results thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if the results are what we saw on TV today, then it ain't worth it.
No.
So I don't want nah. So I don't. When I heard that report, like those players don't hold any oak to me. They don't. They don't hold any oak to me when it comes to that type of statement. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, because real talk, most of them dudes probably won't even be here. Let's keep it a buck.
Don't be anonymous. Don't be anonymous and say it. Come on.
I mean, everybody. That's how they do things.
Say that. I know. Say that with your chest. Like, yo, I don't like hard coaching. I guarantee no Alabama boys. Ain't the Alabama boys.
I'm not sure about that anymore. Boski, to be honest, one of the top 2 quarterbacks probably will be available if we're top 4 or 5 in the draft. Do we take one? I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna go to you, Dee Middy. What do you think for this question?
Do we take a quarterback in the top 5? That's the question.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if they did. It'll be the quarterback they take I might be mad at.
Got you.
And this might be a hot take, or this might be, against what some people say, but I like Caleb Williams, but I don't love Caleb Williams.
Okay.
I like Drake May better as a quarterback. Size, arm talent,
they're both tough.
Accuracy. I would take a Drake May versus Caleb Williams. But if you tell me that in the foreseeable future that Eric Bieniemy can get Caleb Williams to do the things that Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are doing, that he can work the kinks out and get him to an elite NFL caliber, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I would rather take Drake May if we're taking a quarterback. That's just my opinion.
I mean, if I take a quarterback, I mean, if it's between the two, I would take Caleb. But I like Drake. I think they're both dogs.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Quarterback. But it's not. I think Sam could be an elite quarterback. So it's just wild to me. I mean, it just it's tough. Like I would like Washington not to be in that situation where, like, I would love him to be at 3 or 4. Then it's like I think it'll be taken away from them, because I do think that Williams and May go 1-2. I don't think it'll be anybody in between. I think
because the Bears gonna be picking number 1. So let me ask this question.
They're gonna probably trade it. They'll probably trade it.
So if they don't trade it, right? Let's just say they do what the Cardinals did, right?
They'll take him. Definitely take him.
They take Caleb Williams.
Yeah, they'll take Caleb.
Would you take Justin Fields?
No, I wouldn't take Justin. I like Justin, but I wouldn't take Justin. Eric? No. I'm cool with Sam. I know Sam has already done more right now. And I like, and it's wild. Justin, I think Justin, the right situation, Justin can be really good in the right situation. Because I don't think, and I know this is gonna be a hot take, I think if Justin was in a Eagles system, I think he'd be just as good or maybe even better than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I
agree that's a good take.
Y'all high on Caleb Williams and Drake May. I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm taking Jaden Daniels. Out of those two, I'm taking Jaden Daniels. If to fit into an EB system, I'm
top five.
Top 5. I'm taking Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels had more upside than the other two guys. He's a run threat. He reminds me of a Jalen Hurts. Look at the conference you're playing in, right? A quarterback who gives you fits, right? A mobile quarterback who on the field, who tough nose. Jaden Daniels to me will be the guy if I'm watching in the top 4 or 5 that I make the pick at. And I might be wrong, but I think Jaden Daniels.
I can't. Nah, that's too much of a risk. I can't. That's just too much of a risk.
But then
it's just too much of a risk.
Now, Wally, that's what I was thinking, because for me, last year was the first time this came to my mind. Why not draft quarterbacks later to put them a chip on their shoulder, right? Instead of taking quarterbacks number 1, take them later, put a chip on their shoulder. But Jaden Daniels, this specific conversation, I like him. I watched Jaden Daniels a little bit, but he's not a top 15 pick for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. He ain't gonna be that high. You still got the kid from Washington, who I'm not even in love with either. And
I'm not in love with Penix either, but he's a dog. He's a DAWG dog.
Yeah, Penix is a dog. I mean,
I'm not in love with him though. I'm not in love with him, but he's going to be he's a top 10 pick. But him, and also I'm not a fan of Washington quarterbacks though.
But Washington, if the Commanders have to do anything, I don't care 4 or 5 pick. I don't care who's there. If Sam Howell's your guy, you go offensive lineman.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, if
you believe in Sam Howell to be your guy, you don't pick another
Olu out of Penn State.
That's what I'm saying.
Run the card in now.
That's what's up. But yeah, I take it. I mean, I would definitely. I mean, that's the thing. Like, for me, with the second pick, if they get lucky with the second pick.
Get lucky.
I'm not getting lucky. I mean, say get lucky. Just they can earn the second pick. I'm gonna get lucky.
They can earn it. They
can earn the second pick. Say earn the second pick.
Earn the second pick.
I would love for them to get I would love for them to get the tackle, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if Marvin's there, I'm cool with that. Like, that's what I'm really cool with. If Marvin is there, I'm very cool with that. Like, you put Marvin if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there, that means you're taking all the pressure from Terry. You can move Terry on the other side, outside. He get real one-on-ones with like secondary cornerbacks. You can move Jahan to the inside. Now you really cooking. Like, now you cooking. I mean, because Jahan could be slot. He can play slot. Like, now you cooking to a point where, because you're probably gonna lose Curtis, like Glenn said. So now you're playing and you got the big receiver who is him. There's nothing about it. He is him. You get the big receiver. You got Terry, a good route runner. You got Jahan, who is a good route runner. Now can play inside. You kind of more. I ain't gonna lie. You're more dangerous. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. You're kind of more dangerous. You're more dangerous. I'm not mad at Marvin. I want the tackle, but the tackle don't grade higher than Marvin. I'm taking Marvin. If I'm 3 and that tackle says the grade is Marvin here, tackle here. I'm taking Marvin.
The Olu should grade higher than Marvin.
He should though.
Just based off of this team needs specifically, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yo,
he should. I agree.
Yeah, here's a question I had, though, I want you guys to answer real quick. And I'm gonna put up there. Who's the DC?
Who the DC for me? I mean, I'm a retro dude, man. Like, man, Greg Williams ain't doing nothing. So get my man Greg Williams out there, man. Right now, I love Greg Williams. I love Greg Williams, man. I just hear a dog, man. Just get him out there. If not Greg Williams, man, I'm all about getting Rex Ryan. I like Rex Ryan too. You know what I'm saying?
I just think they should go with somebody younger in the tree of somebody under like Rob Salah or under somebody like Mike Tomlin. Somebody that's in that ilk. Like you want to get a defensive coordinator that's worked with somebody's defense, like DeMeco Ryans. Pluck somebody around here that's actually doing something.
I knew DeMeco was gonna be good too. Yeah, man. Look, my man said a wide receiver, really? Yeah, man. I'm like, yo, have you seen Marvin?
No, he hasn't.
You seen Marvin?
He hasn't.
Man, Marshall, I need you to watch Marvin. It's just like I use this opinion. I use this take all the time. Yo, just like when Minnesota got Randy Moss and they didn't need him because they had Chris Carter and Jake Reed. They ain't need Randy. They just got Randy. I'm just telling you, like.
Hey, yo,
you don't need Marvin.
That analogy alone make me want Marvin Harrison, man.
I'm just saying, Jake Reed and Chris Carter were both 1,000-yard receivers that year. They didn't need Randy. They just wanted Randy. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you though. I mean, I want the tackle like I do. Marshall said, you need to replace both right and left tackles. Yeah, I kind of agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I feel like Cosme shouldn't. I feel like Cosme shouldn't have left right tackle.
You know what? I like your take because I'm thinking that too. I've been thinking that too.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I've been thinking that too. I've been with that too. So I'm just saying, like he said, I saw his dad. Marshall funny. He said I saw his dad. Yeah, his dad was like that, man. He like his dad, bro. He good, and he's bigger, That's what makes him. Yeah, but look, but they not Marvin. I'm just saying they good, but they not Marvin. Yeah, you like Jefferson? Look, when Jefferson came out, there were tons of good wide receivers when Jefferson came out, but they ain't Jefferson.
Yo, so let me give you this scenario, right? This is just hypothetical. What a dream scenario. If you're picking in the top 7 or 8, if Marvin falls to you, right, but you still got that 32nd pick in them two top second round picks, and you can move back up into the first round, you still might be able to get you an old lineman at that time, depending on how this draft plays out.
You got 2 second rounders. You could do it.
It's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical.
You could. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to keep this. Like, I want everybody to know. I'm not saying it just to say it. Like I do want the kid from Penn State. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like if you put yourself in a position to get him, like for instance, think about it. The Bengals too needed a tackle more than they needed Chase. If you remember, they had Boyd and they had Higgins.
But you can't.
They had Higgins and Boyd, and they needed a tackle. Like they needed a tackle to protect. Everybody had him getting a tackle. They got Chase, and is anybody complaining about that?
No, because it worked out for him.
I'm just saying, I agree
2
with
AFC championship games in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Marshall. Like Marshall, I agree with
you. They didn't win the Super Bowl.
Let
me just rephrase that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, there is precedence on this. Like the Bengals, everybody had the Bengals getting a tackle because Joe Burrow's getting sacked a lot. Everybody had him. They're like, nah, we're gonna go for Jamar Chase. I'm just saying, like, if you want to keep it a buck, I mean, my man Harrison grades higher than Chase.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Again, do I want the tackle? Yeah, I want the tackle. But I'm gonna say, but if Marvin Harrison Jr. is sitting there on your lap, I'm gonna lie to you. I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna stare at it, I'm gonna be like,
you don't pass it up.
I'm just like, I don't know if I can do it.
No, you don't.
It's like fantasy football.
Well,
like
it depends on who the GM is, because if Ron's the GM, ain't no telling what's gonna happen by this time.
I'm just saying it's like fantasy football, bro. Like sometimes you got 2 backs. Your backs are already done, but then this back just slipped to you. I don't really need this back though. I just need a receiver though. I need to fill this receiver. But dang, this back here. Man, let me get this back real quick though. I gotta get him. I gotta get him.
Back to D coordinator. I think Raheem Morris would be a good one. Steve Wilkes.
That's a good one.
Steve Wilkes will be a good one. We'll see what he's doing in San Francisco. But you know what I'm saying? I think you got to have a tough-nosed guy on that side of the ball that doesn't mind being hard-nosed and holding plays accountable. That's just me. Yeah. I know my word for the day has been accountability. I just don't think there's been a lot of accountability on here, which goes into this next question right here, my man. Yeah. Put up there because, when you hold people accountable, if you make a combined from $40 million, right? So somebody got to step up, right? Are they worth the $40 million?
Look, man, everybody we was talking about, we was talking about the defensive ends. Everybody wanted to put that energy in the defensive ends, and it's cool. But it looked like those are the only ones putting pressure. That's what it looks like. Those are the dudes putting pressure. It wasn't the guys inside. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jonathan Allens and Deron Paynes, and I like both of them. I'm not one to. I ain't gonna be like folks who just gonna turn on people. I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not turning.
No, not you. I'm saying not you. I'm saying like folks on X. They like now it's like they act like these dudes can't play ball at all. I'm just saying like this season, the ends weren't the problem.
If you can get a 3rd round pick this year for Allen or Payne, well, Allen, not Payne. I'm sorry, Payne and Sweat were the guys I wanted to keep on the D line because I knew we couldn't keep them all. But if you can get a 3rd round for Allen, or if you can get maybe a 4th, maybe.
You may get a 2nd. After last year, you could have got a 2nd. I don't know now.
Right. This year, you might be low 3rd because you got a compensatory 3rd for Chase. So you might be able to get a 4th for Allen. I mean,
facts.
This team needs some resurgence, and it can come from the draft. I mean, I'm not against trading John Allen for a 4th, maybe.
I mean, I think they're going to be fine next year. I think Jonathan Allen coming off of plantar fasciitis. He had that in the after the preseason game, like I think it was after the first preseason game, like the last preseason game or the second to last, whatever, and going to that game. So he was dealing with that, and that's something that you can't shake off till like the off season, right? Because you play on it, it gets worse. So I don't think we're getting the best Jonathan Allen anyway. So I'm all interested to see how he pans out next year. And Payne too, like they're obviously going to have to. I know I joke around with it, but they're going to have to get some defensive ends, guys with real talent, to play alongside of him. Not to say they got to be Chase or Montez talent, but they got to be adequate enough, right, to get pressure. You don't have to have all 4 studs. You don't have to get have 4 studs on a defensive line. Just have somebody who can just do a certain thing as a pass rusher, right? A couple good pass rushers. So that's my thing. I'm at a point now where I just want them to do this thing right. This whole unit. Go after some linebackers, like we all said, defensive ends, like do all of that because that's what's needed. But yeah, playing to their capability, I think we all can agree to that. I don't like to say like it's we're creatures we're creatures of the moment right now, and they're not playing to the level we want them to play. But I want to say next year, hopefully they turn around, they're motivated because they know how they're playing, and they know they're providing an impact. Like they know that they're not worth the money right now. They're not. These are guys that we were hoping to say not to be this guy, but play in the league or close to the league of and Aaron Donald. I'm
pretty sure I can speak for y'all. None of us probably on this panel thought that this defense would be ranked 32nd.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
What I'm saying. Nobody. If this is a good one too. There's another player. There's another player that's been mentioned. I want to ask this player. Like we talked about him. Curl has completely lost the whole bag this year, league-wise. I kind of agree.
He's a leading tackle.
I agree. I agree because at the end of the day, we could talk about how solid he is as a player. He's making some plays. But in that position, you just can't be solid. You just can't be solid being a safety.
But he
got to make plays.
But he saved his team a lot of points.
Look, now for that money, I'm gonna be real with you.
Like, for the money. Yeah, for the money.
No, for that money, that does not give you money. It's a solid play. It's a work lunch play. It's a lunchbox play.
But you go to the whole defense. Look at Kendall Fuller. Let's go through that. Kendall Fuller didn't have to lived up to his contract.
I think Kendall was, other than today.
No, I mean this season. This season, Kendall
he's been
Fuller
the best quarterback on the team this season, but today was terrible.
Oh, and what is that saying? He's been the best cornerback on the team.
He has been. He's been the best cornerback this season.
But what is that really saying though?
Oh no, it's not saying a lot. But I'm just saying but I didn't. We don't. But this is what I was saying. Maybe it's the defense scheme they are asked to play. Maybe I don't know. This is a good one. Derek Forrest. All right, so Derek Forrest was playing like trash before he got hurt. So this is the thing. Like, yes, he's been out, but he's been playing like trash too. Like, this is crazy. Like, before he was getting beat. What's name's getting beat more? Percy Butler's getting beat more, obviously, but he was getting beat a lot. Derek Forrest was getting beat a lot too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, and maybe it's the scheme because a lot of these dudes who showed out last year, haven't been the same. Same scheme, but you know what? Same scheme. People adjust. Teams adjust.
But that means adjustment on the defense side of the ball. I mean, the coaching didn't adjust, right? Coaching didn't do something different because teams that you played. I mean, I'm not talking about teams that you just played once like the Broncos. I'm talking about teams that you played consistently, like the Giants in the division, right? This team is 0-5 in the division. This team let Tommy DeVito, I'm gonna say Danny DeVito, like I always call him, Danny DeVito, look like a superstar, right? This dude just sleeping in his bed at home. Again, this team they said today on a broadcast about the Miami Dolphins that Miami Dolphins beat teams they were supposed to beat. This team couldn't beat teams they were supposed to beat. Miami Dolphins haven't beat anybody good, right? Yeah. They've lost to teams with winning records. They said it today in the broadcast. Yeah. And so they're feasting off of bad football teams. Washington could not feast off of bad football teams. And if Washington could have feasted off bad football teams, we're talking a different thing right about now. If they could win the games they were supposed to win on bad football teams, we're having a different conversation about this team. And that's coaching to me.
Yeah, that's coaching, but that's also I'm gonna put this out there. Donnell Gray Jr. said, "Hey fellas, we need O-line, linebackers, and defensive ends next year. We had defensive ends, we trade them. I'm gonna keep saying that though. O-line, yeah, we need O-line and we need linebackers. I totally agree. You can't be like that's right. Again, this is Ron Rivera's fault. You chose violence when you decided that Cody Barton was the starter. You chose violence. To like, it's definitely coaching, but it's a team aspect in this element. What I mean by that is that good teams beat bad teams. Great teams can be good teams, but good teams beat bad teams often, often, and you beat them like Washington, like Miami beat Washington. That's how you beat a bad team. You treat them. I don't want to use the word, but you treat them like you know what. That's what you treat them like. You treat them like you know what. All right, and that's what Miami did to Washington. I said this before. Even Coach Gibbs. What I liked about Coach Gibbs is that in any year of 2.0. When he played a bad team, you knew it was a bad team. Like, because Coach Gibbs ain't play with a bad team. Like, that's one thing he didn't. He respected and I feel like we respected the bad team to let him know, to let his players know, like, yo, y'all better take this team serious. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna be in a tough one. And they respected the bad team as if they played a tough team. You know what I'm saying? And with Coach Rivera, it's the same around the board. What I mean by that is, like, if you're a bad team, you're gonna struggle with this bad team. If it's a good team, you may play up to them, but you're gonna struggle with this good team. You know what I'm saying? Like, there isn't that consistency. Like, I want you to view this bad team like they're the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, you gotta have that outlook. You gotta look at that quarterback. You gotta look at Danny DeVito or Tommy DeVito, whatever his name is. Tommy DeVito, like he Patrick Mahomes. You gotta treat him like he's Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to help you. But again, Ron isn't a winner. Like, yeah, we get fixated on he been to a Super Bowl. He had that great year. We went 15-1. But that's pretty much his best year in the NFL. Period. Cam Newton. Yeah. If you look at his body of work other than that year, he's a below average NFL coach.
Right. And that year they shouldn't have been 15-1. They could have been below 500. They won a lot of games by a few points, so they won games late.
Yeah,
to give them
but they got the Super Bowl. So I'm not going. They got the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to even he got to the bowl. So I'm gonna give him his flowers. But I'm just saying, like, if you just take out that year, the rest, Ron has not been good.
No,
you know what I mean. And really, why other than this year, Well, I guess this year is kind of the same thing, but his tenure in Washington so far has been consistent to what he's done, even in Carolina, minus that 1 year.
Yeah,
so Ron is who he is. Like
nobody wanted to hire anyway.
He may be like he's well respected, and that's fine. But in terms of wins and losses, he's the same, and that's just something that. But Dan decided to hire him, and Dan was like, "Hey, this is your job. Do you? I gotta worry about legal." You know, my man. So it's your gig. This is you.
I feel like
you got this.
I feel like from the whole beginning of the Ron hire was the NFL saying we are going to reshape this Washington organization.
Agreed.
Dan, here's a list of coaches that you can hire as head coach.
Agreed.
And I'm not saying Jennifer King was a part of that. I think Jennifer King and Jason Wright happened after Ron because
they did. Ron brought Jennifer King on because she was with him in Carolina.
You see what I'm saying?
But I think Jason Wright is part of that. I think Jason Wright is part of. I mean, no disrespect to Jason Wright.
Now, if he is, round of applause to that because I feel like he supplanted himself as staying as the team president.
You think so?
Because what has he done that has warranted being a subpar team president outside of?
Oh yeah, I don't like it. The only thing I don't like is that I don't think he has the temperature. I feel like the temperature of the squad with Sean Taylor. I don't think he gets it.
I think there were not necessarily saying he scored 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I got you saying.
You feel what I'm saying? And what you're just saying pointed out something as well. But I say that to say this because I feel like think about when Jim Tonsula was the D-line coach.
Yeah.
Payne, Ioannidis, and them boys had a better year.
Yeah, I agree. They all as a whole. Yeah, as a whole. Yes.
They need that kind of coach on defense.
I agree.
Correct. But you guys said something for a minute, and
totally agree, totally agree, my man. Totally agree. That's my point.
Yeah,
good guy. But yeah,
bad luck. But you get this. Dee, I don't know if you're a wrestling fan or not, right? But I think this organization has turned into the Tony Khan. I think they used the Sean Taylor thing just to get fans back in the seats. I like Sean Taylor. I appreciate it. And I know what he did. But we're 20 years removed from Sean Taylor. And I'm not trying to be funny, right? And so this organization uses this. That's the only saving grace for a bad organization. We have a problem, right? We have a problem.
Sean Taylor they use a lot of.
I agree.
They use a lot of. We didn't mention this, but today was Fan Appreciation Day. If you was a fan and you came and saw this on Fan Appreciation Day, they should stop having Fan Appreciation Day.
I agree, man.
If you go back to it, look at the like that game was a Hall of Fame Fan Appreciation Day, and the only reason because they was able to come back and Tampa Bay stopped doing what they need to do. This team right here, again, gimmicks and tricks to get people in the stands don't need to be done. You're bringing more visitor fans are coming in than the regular people. What put butts in seats are W's. When you win, people will come. And this organization needs to do something so they can start winning and stop having tricks and gimmicks to get fans to come out. Fan appreciation days and stuff like that, just getting embarrassed.
Yeah, like homecoming games.
Like homecoming games, right?
Yeah, that's like to me.
Well, at least in homecoming games, you supposed to put you put somebody on a roster that you can beat, right? You make the homecoming game a game that you can beat. This year's homecoming game wasn't a team that you could beat.
No, I agree. I just feel like when I look at Washington, that's how I look at I feel like they're in their situation. They do all this extra stuff, and bringing certain players back and whatnot, just to kind of they living on the past to try to help the future. And I get that you should lean on the past. I'm not. But I feel like they use the past to deflect the poorest job they're doing. I think that's the best way to say it. You know what I mean? Because you should lean on the past to a certain extent, but they do it a different way. They do it to deflect the negativity, and which I don't like.
That's what I don't like either. I mean, I love Sean Taylor. I love the fact that he was here, but don't keep using that to deflect how bad this football team is. And every time you keep bringing them up or bringing his kids up, doing all this other stuff, there's a lot of things you can do in private that doesn't necessarily have his name on it, because again, you're too much.
I do want to say something that Dee Middy talked about it, but Marshall Robinson on YouTube said it. Take a look at the Niners and Jets defensive staff for DC. You agree with that, Dee Middy?
Only because you are looking at a winning organization. Even when San Francisco wasn't winning Super Bowls, they had something else to hang their hat on: talent and coaching. Now, Steve Mariucci is not a Hall of Fame coach by least, but he knew how to put together the right staff, and he knew how to work with that talent. And their fans haven't wavered. Like, their fans are like, we for the babe, you know. Like, it just seems as if they had on the past and yesteryears. It's the way that they're doing it is in Washington, it doesn't work. And if you're gonna go get a defensive coordinator, you need to get somebody who's young, who's going to insert some
energy,
energy, and
excite what it can connect,
and have these guys playing with their instinct, because trying to play within a scheme is not working for this talent that you have.
I totally agree. Well, real quick before we go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just a real quick snippet of a play that I seen. They called a pass interference on St. Juice on a I think it was in the third quarter. And to me, if you let him play instinctually on this play, he's not ready to grab at the receiver. He's ready to play on the ball. He's ready to play. So it's just stuff like that, man. Just little stuff like that.
No, I'm with you. No, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, he also, like, St. Juice is
touchy grabby.
Yeah, he always panics too. Man, St. Juice is. Yeah, he panics a lot, man. He panics a lot. I want St. Juice to be better, man. Before we end the show off, I do want to. We've been very negative. I've been very negative. I know me. I've been very negative. I'm my own me. I've been very negative. But what would you? What's a positive? I'm gonna start with you, Dee Middy. What's a positive out of this game for you?
A true positive out of this game.
True positive.
I like the way KJ Henry played, and I like the way Andre Jones played. Those are two guys I was looking at coming out of the draft to be those swinging, not swinging gate guys. I want to use that terminology. They were guys that was like, you know, they was a part of that platoon, I should say, of DNs, because I knew that something was going. I had a feeling that, you know, Chase and Montez may have not been on this year, even though these were bag years for them to go get their bag. I just had a feeling that we would need guys to come in and be those second tier guys, and we got it from Andre and we got it from KJ, and those are my positive out of the game. Just watching how they play.
Glenn, you're positive, my man.
That the Miami Dolphins spent a lot of time on touchdown celebrations.
Yo. Do you know how much time you get for premeditated murder? The Cowboys and the Dolphins premeditated their daggone touchdown celebrations.
They know they playing. That's why.
You got a roller coaster ride with a orchestrated. But
orchestrated.
They playing, man, because they playing the Commanders. That's why they knew what time it was. They knew they had ample opportunity, bro. For me.
But no, real quick.
Go
My real is getting KJ Henry. To me, I thought KJ Henry was a positive, and I think I said his name earlier. I thought Jamin Davis played very well today. Jamin Davis played well. So,
for me, it's like I like Sam Howell's fight. So for me, it's gonna be Sam Howell getting those two rushing touch. The one rushing touchdown, that was fight. Like, things aren't going his way. It wasn't the best day for him. But I like this fight. It's like I didn't see quit in him. Everybody else, you can say whatever, but I didn't see quit in him. So I'm gonna say Sam Howell. Before we go, I'm gonna put out a couple other comments out. Ron Beaver said you need to hire the GM before you hire a head coach. I agree. I think GM should hire the coach.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. It's the same thing. He said you need a GM and coach who have the same vision for a team. I agree. Totally agree with that statement. And Boski,
yes.
Just think about our 4 wins. We're closer to 0 wins than a successful season.
That's true. That is a very true statement.
Facts, bro. Facts. Dang,
that is facts.
You're right. Sheesh, this has been a horrible season, actually.
Shouldn't have won the Denver game.
But man, it is what it is, man. This team is. They are who. I mean, I've already checked out, so it doesn't matter to me anymore. Yeah. I've mentally checked out. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm here to do shows, man. I'm here to talk and vent with you all. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're here for.
I barely watched. I mean, I had to go back and rewind certain plays. People were texting me like, this happened. I'm like, oh, I'm watching my fantasy football players. I'm trying to I'm trying to win a money league. Don't got time for y'all.
Same thing for me, bro. Because what's crazy is in my money league, I have Mostert and Waddle. So I'm like, this is a fantasy game for me, bro. Like, that's crazy. I knew what was going to happen in this game, and I'm just watching it for fantasy. Like, let Mostert and Waddle get a TD, and we good.
Yeah, man.
I took a nap. My daughter woke me up like, your dad in the second quarter. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I got down to 20. But also, not only that, man, I was more interested in what they were doing, like the production people from Fox letting my man throw the middle finger up for like 10, 15 seconds without blurting it out. I was like, dang, they sleep in a production truck.
They thinking like they obviously think it's wrestling or some crap. All right. So anyway, before we close this show, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and go everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. Like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. And make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're a new viewer, just hit that red subscribe button. We appreciate y'all for the comments and whatnot. So like this video as well. Hit the red subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit the like the page. We appreciate y'all there. If you watching us on X, hit the follow button on X. We appreciate that. We appreciate that as well. Anyway, this has been great, man. Dee Middy, man, thank you for being on. Welcome to the fam, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man. It was a pleasure, man. I thank y'all guys, man. I love doing this, man. Talking ball with people that know what they're talking about, and just being able to just talk about something I follow and love. It's a good thing, man. I truly appreciate y'all.
Man, we appreciate you, man. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. For ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.